Well, it sure looks like President Biden is folding to the Taliban, letting them dictate our exit plans in Afghanistan. Not good. Joining us now to discuss, General Jack Keane, Fox Senior Strategic Analyst. General Keane, welcome back. Sir, can I just ask you, Mr. Blinken, Anthony Blinken, he said, the Secretary of State said, at the beginning of this, August 14th, there were 6,000 Americans in Afghanistan, quote, who wanted to leave. Now, I don't know. He says 4,500 of them have been evacuated. A week ago, sir, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said that there were 11,000 Americans in Afghanistan. So I'm very confused about these numbers, and I fear we're going to be abandoning a lot of Americans.
Yeah, we're on a cusp of one of the most shameful incidents in the history of the United States. I mean, this is betrayal by the United States government, not only of our Afghan partners who are going to be left behind, likely now, as we understand the numbers, by the thousands, but certainly American citizens as well. And to see how other governments have, other U.S. governments have reacted to situations like this, and how we have worked so earnestly to get all of our people out. What is really happening here, and you put your finger on it, Larry, is this administration and our president, they do not have the spine to stand up to the Taliban, who are now dictating that you have to be out by 31 August and we're not going to cooperate with you. That is a completely unsatisfactory answer. We have 6,000 troops and the greatest air power in the world at our disposal, and that gives us the strength to dictate the terms, not the Taliban. We should be leaving on our terms and our terms only. But what is really happening? What happens here, and we have seen it before, where leaders get paralyzed, Larry, by the fear, and I'm talking a real fear of adverse consequences. What's the adverse consequence here? That we're going to get in a gunfight with the Taliban, and there may indeed be casualties as a result of that? I thought that was the reason we put the 6,000 troops there, backed up by air power, to make certain that we got our people out and we were willing to accept the risk. The real dangerous scenario here is not a gunfight with the Taliban, which, believe me, we can handle. It's the fact that we're going to leave our citizens and our Afghan partners behind. How in good conscience can we face ourselves after having done something like that, and doing it simply because the Taliban are dictating those terms to us? It is absolutely outrageous that we could submit ourselves to the will and the whims of the Taliban. It makes no sense to me. This is the United States of America.
No, I'm with you, General. Well said, sir, as always. Look, seems to me this may be the first time in American history we leave Americans on the battlefield. The battlefield right now is Kabul in Afghanistan. By the way, we don't know. There may be thousands of Americans sheltering in place outside of Kabul. Ironically, the French and the British want to be much tougher and stay much longer. And our own people, I mean, you're getting a lot of quotes in the papers. Everybody knows we're going to have to stay longer than 31 August. Everyone knows that. So why don't we just mobilize the troops, clear a path to the airport in Kabul, stop these checkpoints? How can we let them, the terrorist Taliban, run checkpoints that stops American citizens, not to speak of our Afghan friends, and in some cases, according to the SecDef, taking away passports and other documents? How can we've never looked this weak, sir. We've never looked this weak.
As soon as we got that anecdotal feedback that was coming from all circles, about the Taliban interfering with the access to the Kabul airport, in other words, the roads that lead to the airport, they had checkpoints up and were doing everything they could to impede people getting access to it. As soon as that happened, we should have opened those gates and put our troops on the street and developed safe passages, designated hubs to go pick up people. I understand we did pick up some people last night. That's a good thing. And also tell the Taliban that we fully intend to pick up our people around the country, Afghanistan, at hubs that we are designating for them to do. And if necessary, we'll put the security in there to make certain it happens. And tell them, don't interfere with it, or you will face the consequences of it. It's shameful what we've done here. There was many ways to prevent. I think what we're heading to, we're eventually going to close the gate to that airport as we want our military to get on the airplanes and leave. We're not going to take any more people on the other side of that gate, even though they may be a documented American citizen or a documented Afghan partner, and leave them behind. And that is absolutely, as I said at the outset, shameful betrayal of our values, and it'll be a stain on our national honor, for years to come.
You told me Monday, sir. You told me Monday, we are fighting for American honor. I don't think the Biden administration understands that. I'm sorry. I regret to say that. But that's what the evidence suggests. General Keane, thank you, sir. As always, we will see lots more of you as this thing unfolds. We appreciate your guidance.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.